Hey everybody, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan, here with another Plan With Me video, and this time I'm going to show you how I'm using a new printable from AnniePlansPrintables as my monthly budget and cleaning list setup. So I'm just going to take these out of my mini Happy Planner discs here, and I'll just show you quickly what the overall insert looks like. So Annie came out with this, I think maybe just last month actually, because she had originally printed these for October to December of 2019. So what the printable is basically is it's a fold over. Can you guys see that? So you have excuse me, on this page, you've got the month at a glance, and then here you have the choice of whether you can have this as just a dot grid or if you want it as a habit tracker for the full 30 days. And then you have places here at the bottom to write some extra days. And then when you fold it over, you have another kind of grid section here as well. And this is a collab with AnniePlan. All of these little designs and ribbons are from AnniePlan. And then when you flip it over, oh, I took out extra here. That's where the month for the next calendar is. So I like these types of fold overs actually because these are really easy to print. You really only have to cut around the outside and do the hole punches in the middle, and you know exactly where to fold. And this was made actually for the personal wide rings, but I just adjusted the cut lines a little bit and then punched the holes for the Happy Planner, and I'm so loving this. So I'm just going to show you guys how I'm going to decorate it, and then how I fill in my cleaning list, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's get started. What I'll be using this week is I'm just gonna go into some of these leftovers from Villa Beautiful, Shop Villa Beautiful. I got these last year, and I thought these are really, really pretty, and I thought I'd try and use them this year before I decide to give them away because I love the washi strips. And then I'm gonna take some gold pieces and some black pieces from the Goal Getter sticker book. So one of the first things you want to do is try and decorate the overall monthly page. And I love these washi strips from Shop Villa Beautiful. They're just beautiful. I love these washi strips because they're iridescent, they're see-through, and they're just such a gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. So I'm just laying down one of the washi strips down at the bottom there, and then using my X-Acto knife to cut off the excess. I'm just thinking, like, how did I discover this insert? I think when AnniePlans and AnniePlan revealed their collab and I saw this, I thought, this is exactly what I need. I was looking for something very similar to what AnniePlans already had in her quarterly inserts. So her quarterly inserts had the month on 2 pages, and then it had the 30-day habit tracker. And I wanted to try and somehow incorporate that into the mini Happy Planner. And when she came out with this, I thought this is the best of both worlds, that you've got enough here for the habit tracker, which is what I use for my cleaning tracker. And then there's still enough room for me to track my budget spread. Now, the unfortunate thing with this is I won't necessarily be able to have the room to track my daily spends, but because I do that on an Excel spreadsheet anyway, I'm not too bothered by it. So I love being able to use the leftover washi strips of the Shop Villa Beautiful kit in here, just because I don't like to waste anything from any kits, especially this one. I actually won this. I won $30 worth of credit to the shop from Jenny McGarvey, and I really wanted to buy as much as I could from this shop because all of her stuff is so beautiful. And right now, with shipping being as expensive as it is to Canada, I'm not buying as much from US shops as I'd like to, just because shipping is, and I know it's not the fault of the shops, but the shipping is just makes it really, really difficult for a lot of us Canadian planners to buy from the American shops. So I'm trying to make as much use as I can of this kit and not waste any of it. So I'm placing just 2 washi strips over there on that portion there, and I'll show you a little bit later how I'm going to use this part of the sheet, but I just wanted to add a little bit of decoration. And the thing about this overall monthly spread is that you don't need to add too much, just a few washi strips and a few pieces of deco, and really that's all you need. I almost feel like if you over decorate this part, you lose all sense of function. I always wonder when I watch other people do their Plan With Me videos, especially the ones where they're talking while they're doing it. I always wonder how they're able to come up with such great stories to tell, but also how to focus on what they're doing while they're planning. I'm sure it takes a lot of practice and a lot of experience. For me, I like being able to focus on what it is that I'm doing, and I think now I'm finding a lot more of my rhythm and my style that I like to plan with, a TV show in the background, or at least with my kids being able to play in the background. And, you know, I find that some of the creativity gets lost when I'm trying really hard to talk while I'm filming. So I think in the future, I may not necessarily speed through it as fast. I'll only do it 2 times as fast rather than 4 times as fast. So it gives me an opportunity to still tell you stuff without um, interfering with my creative outlet, I guess. So now I'm going into the Goal Getter sticker book from the Happy Planner release from last year. And I went into this book because it had a lot of the black stickers and a few of the color schemes here, like the dark blue, that went along really well with the Shop Villa Beautiful washi strips. And I'm using the stars to mark out my paydays. If I can get the stars off. The stars are always the most difficult for me to get off the page. And then I'm going to go and find those check marks that you see right there and use that to mark my bill payments. So I'm going to write down my bill payments in 2 places, one on the actual calendar itself, so I know where in the month I'm going to be paying it, or when in the month, not where, but when. And then the second spot I'll show you once I've finished filling this in. And I've had somebody ask me this before, but this is not really where I keep track of my overall spend. This is more so a reminder for me when I need to be paying these bills. And a lot of these bills come out automatically anyway, but it's nice to have a calendar reminders to when these are going out. And in my planner, I don't actually keep track of my bill payments or when bills are due in my planner. I keep track of all of that in a separate spreadsheet. And for me, it's just easier to keep it all in one spreadsheet so that I know the days that they go out and I know the exact amount and then I know how much is left. And because I have such tiny writing anyway, this size of insert works really, really well for me. Now this insert was originally made for the personal wide rings, and Annie hadn't made a size yet for the mini happy planner. But what I found is that the mini happy planner and the personal wide rings are very, very similar in size. They're slightly off in terms of the height and the width by just a little bit, but it wasn't enough to really affect the function of the overall spread. So I'm using this bill due script from the Tasseled Planner sheet from a little while ago. I got this a little while ago from Tasseled Planner, and now I'm writing in the actual bills. So this is the second spot that I'm going to see all of my bills. I write down the actual dates, and then I'm going to write down the amounts that they're paid. So like I said, I get to see them in 2 spots, one in the calendar and then one in this list form in chronological order. And what you're going to see, I'm going to be filming a setup video over the next few days here. You're going to see my, I guess, my overall mindset or shift in mindset when it came to my planner this time around. There's the overall look of it. I'm going to zoom you in here, and this is going to be for my cleaning list. What led me to being able to use this specific insert is that, one, it fits perfectly into a mini happy planner. I did have to adjust the cuts a little bit to fit into the mini happy planner pages, and then I just punched it with my We Are Memory Keepers punch. And I like the format of this because you don't have to worry about the exact cut lines in the middle of the page. You're only really worrying about the printing and then the punching on the one side, if that makes sense. I always had trouble with the B6 and having it line up and having it fold exactly the way I want it to. Whereas with the fold over, I don't actually have to worry so much about the exact length of the pages being exact or the exact cut of the pages being exact. With the B6, I always had to make sure that in booklet form, obviously the middle pages had to be shorter so that the larger pages surrounding it were longer so that it all matched. Does that make sense? Anyway, this is where I'm writing down all of my cleaning lists, and I note when I have to clean them. So there's some that I do weekly. So for example, the bathrooms I clean weekly, and I always do those on a Monday. And then, for example, other things like bed linens, I wash every 2 weeks, and I try to do them on the weekend, so on the Sunday. So I mark when they are. And then when I've cleaned it, then I do a mark in the opposite direction, so there's an X for when I've completed that. And then I also keep track of the things that I do, like I said, every 2 weeks, the things I do every month. And then one of the things that I can't keep track of in here because there isn't enough room is my no spend. So I might have to figure out another way to keep track of a no spend, because after how much I've spent in October trying to set up my new planner, I do need to keep things in check come November and December. And I love this overall look. I get to see my whole cleaning list. And now that we're in our new house, we've been in here since the end of May, it's nice having a tracker for when things need to be cleaned. It doesn't feel so overwhelming. So the last thing I'm going to do here is just add a few pieces of the deco. I don't want to waste a single sticker. If I can use all of these in this spread, then I will. Again, I love the overall look of it. Really simple, but still very, very functional. And I think that's how I'm going to plan in this or decorate this particular insert from now on. Just keep it very, very simple. Maybe a lot of washi and a few deco pieces will just be exactly what I'll need in it. What are you guys planning on using for 2019? One of the things I'm loving about printables is that you can make any type of insert work for you. You don't have to necessarily measure yourself against a specific layout that any type of planner has come out with. You can make printables work for you, and Frank can plan that way. So for this last part, this fold over the dot, well, it's not a dot grid, it's a grid. I'm going to use it to mark important dates. And as you see there, I've already pre-planned in it by putting some Post-its in it. I haven't exactly figured out how I'm going to use this area or how I'm going to decorate it, but I think for now I will just keep it very simple with the important dates I want to remember. I was trying to find specific boxes in the Goal Getter book, but then I realized, no, I've got to go and find my Colorful Boxes book, which I love because of all the gold foil boxes in there. So there it is. So I rotate or alternate between the black boxes and the gold foil boxes to write down the important events. And because I just want to use up all of the washi strips from this kit, I'm going to make use of every single one of them. Because why not? They're really, really pretty. And then lastly, one more washi strip. And it didn't match the exact width or length as the rest of them. And now that I look at it, it does look a little bit crooked, but whatever. And then just going in and writing the important dates. So important dates like birthday party or a home visit for my son's school, or a show, a specific crafting gifting show with my sister. Love the overall look of that. So I'm just going to add the last few pieces of deco here. And I'm going to leave it at that. I love the overall look of this spread. I hope you guys like it too. So here's the overall finished spread. You can see how I decorated very minimalistically, but still using it functionally. So these will be the bills due and then the paydays. And then on the fold out here is basically where I'm going to just leave dates, important dates for the month. And then when I fold it out like that, make sure you guys can see that here. So it's my cleaning lists, when they have to be done, and then all of the bills due, and then I'll write in the amounts that are there. So overall, I actually like being able to see all of it all in basically just those 2 pages. It looks really, really good. I'm really happy with it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again and have a great day.